a knitter knit something for me. That was a big surprise.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. Do you ever wear the one that I sent, or is it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do wear it a lot. It's so fuzzy though, it gets in my mouth when I'm not careful.
Yeah.
I like fuzzy things, but it's, if I really wrap up in it, it's a little, it tickles my nose.
Right. It's toasty though.
It's wonderful.
Thank you. That was something I could tell the others that Dale saw something that I knit on Facebook and he said he liked it. And I said I would make him one. And he said, how about I make Sylvia one?
Tell them about what else you did for Dale.
Oh,
Chocolate of
so-
the month.
right. He had posted that he liked a chocolate place that was run by a student of his, right?
Uh-huh.
And they're kind of exotic truffles. They look very earnest and beautiful. And so when he was sick and I knew he probably was having trouble getting anything in him, and I knew the family probably would like a little joy too. I sent a truffle of the month. It's like, were they like 2 or 4?
4. Uh-huh.
Every month and for a year, I think it was.
Yes, it was.
And so that was how his student found out that he was ill and reached out to him as well.
Yeah, she has her little business in Muncie.
Oh man,
And it
Who is
really
that?
is-
Who is it
I've
in
always
Muncie?
wanted to eat one. Were they delicious? I understand they were nice.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Good morning.
Morning,
Who's the chocolatier in Muncie?
Queer chocolatier.
Oh, her name is, give me a little more time. Or multiple test. Multiple choice test.
Yeah.
Are you
But it's-
talking about chocolate so early in the morning?
Chocolate and nice story, Shanta.
There's no bad time for chocolate.
Oh, unless you're
Exactly.
allergic, unless you're allergic like me.
See if I can find out.
You're allergic to chocolate?
Yeah, I'm allergic to dairy. So
Oh.
yeah, it all comes down to it.
She has vegan
No,
because there's a
I'm,
lot.
no, I'm not vegan at all. No,
No, but that'll
But
make
there
it
would be no
non-dairy.
dairy in it.
yeah. No, I eat meat. Mm,
No. Chocolate in and of itself does not necessarily have dairy in it. You can have chocolate without dairy.
oh, yeah.
Hey, Norma.
How's Ruth Loring?
Am I on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear, you can hear me? She's doing well. She's helping take care of Beth's protege who's moved into West Side Retirement, who has dementia. And so it gives her a new purpose in life to help Beth's friend. That's a summary of a complicated situation. Wow. Ruth is doing pretty well for 94 and having various ailments, as we all have.
Is there an update on
You know-
Stan and Nancy?
You didn't go into chocolate has a very fine history with the Quakers, you know. That's several of the Quakers in England went into the chocolate business because they didn't want to go into the alcohol business. And they went in it to do good and ended up doing well.
Cadbury.
It's the old
Cadbury.
Cadbury
Tree.
is the big one, yeah. I think
Got
there might have
round
been.
trees and fries. Round trees invented Twix.
Twix, like the chocolate Twix.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There's
They're
a
a platonic ideal that were discovered, not created.
There was a wonderful book by one of the Cadburys a few years ago called Chocolate Wars.
Huh.
Very
It was
interesting.
interesting.
Sounds like you could give a sermon on it.
I don't think
Then-
so.
Then I wouldn't have to read the book.
I mean, it is interesting how they built villages for their workers and moved the factories out of the cities. And the one, Bournefield still exists because they set it up as a trust. And it included trust for arts and education. And so they still have a symphony in this small city, and the housing's still affordable for Britain.
Huh.
It's rather interesting.
And now they're saying dark chocolate is really good for you and better for you than milk chocolate.
Oh, yes.
Amen.
My
It
favorite.
all
my
depends to
favorite.
the amount, so.
I'm for that. Well, it is about time to begin. Are there joys or concerns to share before we start? Steve, how are you doing?
Doing very well, thank you. Getting better, stronger every.
Chip is the worship leader today. So if we want to go into silence, Chip will, and everybody mute themselves, Chip will speak out of the silence as led.
Something interesting happened to me Friday. I went to the Walmart grocery store to pick up a prescription. Now, I have decided I was not going to get a COVID shot, not right away, because I really felt like there were more people that deserved it more than I did. Not because I just stay home all the time, but I don't get out. And there's teachers and there's other people that I really felt should be in front of me, and I shouldn't get the shot just because I'm old. But Brandon, he just was insistent that I go get a shot. So I thought, well, I know they're giving the shots at the Walmart grocery, so I'll go down there and check it out and see what I have to do. And I got down there and I asked what I needed to do, and she goes, you need to roll up your sleeve. We've got a shot right here for you. And I don't know if somebody didn't show up or what. I didn't have my glasses. They had to read everything to me, but I had my shot and I was gone. It was just, I guess I was at the right place at the right time. Okay, now I'll do my message. Good morning, friends. Before, I better put my glasses on or I can't read it. Before I start my message, I would like to explain that most of my messages have a bit of humor in them, some more than others. My message on Noah may have been a bit too funny, as a friend informed me that I should have done stand-up comedy. I said, now that would be funny if someone asked, where did you get your start? And I would say, on the facing bench at West Newton Friends meeting. But this is not the time to be funny. There's too much unrest going on around us, and over 500,000 people have died from the COVID in the US alone. I'm pretty sure we all know someone who has died from this virus. This message is being brought to you from my newly remodeled kitchen. I think it turned out pretty nice, but it also makes me sad. While the final touches were being done on my kitchen, a dear friend and extended family member of mine, lost everything in a fire. Troy lived next door to me and is a wonderful caregiver. He moved in with me when my mother was quite ill and needed 24-hour care to help look after her. He was a wonderful cook, mother loved that, fixed all our meals, and was there to comfort me at the time of her death. After I got things settled here, Troy moved back home in time to find out that his stepfather was going to have to go into assisted living. Jack, the stepfather, didn't want to go. He wanted to spend his golden years in the home that he and Troy's mother had built 40 years ago. Troy didn't want Jack to go to some place where he was going to be so unhappy, so he packed up his things, clothes, computer, printer, plants, pots and pans, and moved to the family home with Jack. Now the house was just as Troy's mother left it when she died. The same pictures were on the wall, her collections were still in the same places, and her clothes were still in her closet. Jack hadn't changed a thing. Over time, Jack and Troy became the odd couple, doing everything together. They went out to eat together, went to the gym together, watched movies together, and IU basketball games. They had their routines, and they were both happy that they had each other. It was movie and pizza night. Jack shouted to Troy, "Shall I preheat the oven?" Something he did every Wednesday night. Troy was downstairs watering plants. It was a normal Wednesday evening. But then the smoke alarm went off. Troy rushed upstairs and found the kitchen in flames, and he didn't see Jack. Jack was in the bathroom and had no idea there was a fire, as he is hard of hearing and the door was shut. Troy was able to get Jack out, and that's all he saved was Jack. They sat in the car and watched everything go up in flames. A neighbor came by and wanted to know what she could do, what Jack needed, and Jack, not missing a beat, said, "Well, I sure could use a pizza." The house fire made the front page of the Warsaw newspaper. They were both safe, but everything was gone. In between the time I was born a Quaker and became a member of West Newton Friends meeting, I studied Buddhism. It's interesting that Quakers and Buddhists have a lot in common, a lot of the same ideas, but I'll save that for another time. The one thing I do every day is I make an elaborate design with corn and different grains that I feed the birds and critters. I make this really elaborate design, and it's to remind me that nothing is permanent. The Buddhist monks do it with sand, and I do it with birdseed. When I go out in the morning to feed, everything is gone, and I start over. I do that, and yes, I guess I really never think about what that could mean. What if it wasn't birdseed, but my house and everything in it? You see it all the time on the news about a house or apartment burning down. You are happy to hear the family made it out with their pets, but do you think about the things that they lost? The family pictures, a favorite keepsake, a plant that belonged to their grandmother, a favorite book, a painting, they're all gone. I know I am way too attached to my things, and every time we talk about Quaker spices, it makes me uncomfortable when we talk about simplicity. I do live a pretty simple life, but I have too much stuff, and I'm attached to all of it, way too attached. I'm in the process of downsizing, and it is hard for me to part with anything. I'm not sure how I would act if I lost everything. Troy is back next door, and Jack has gone to Florida to live with his daughter. They are both trying to get back to some kind of normal, and I am sure that it will take time. Troy told me that the family home burning down was like losing his mother all over again. As a Quaker, I have learned that there are times when the best thing you can do is just sit beside them in silence. I also know that, to paraphrase Jesus from Matthew 6:19 and 20, that we shouldn't be accumulating our wealth here on earth, that we should be waiting for it in heaven. And yet I find myself still collecting more stuff. While others learned a new language, a new art form, started a new business during this pandemic, I learned how to shop online. When I feel sad, I go to eBay and add to the cart. As we go into our silent time, I would like you to think about those who are going through much harder times than we are. To think about what we can do for a friend in need, what we all can do, and we all can do this together as we're all in it together.
Chip's message of letting go of stuff was one I needed to hear today, not because of so much physical stuff, although I have way too much of that, but more the things that I hold on to when I'm upset. For the past about a year, we've been dealing with people who rented our little house up front, both in them not paying their rent, which is a considerable amount behind at this time. And then when they moved out and left it completely trashed, which we just found out this week. And so many's been the night over the past year that I've laid awake and tried to solve, what am I going to do about this? The money that's owed, the amount of money it's going to cost to fix this place up again. And at times, as I laid in bed, I kept hearing a voice that was not mine that kept saying, let it go, which is not my nature to let it go. And then about 2 weeks ago, I mean, these people moved out almost 2 months ago and still kept saying they were coming back to clean it and get their stuff out, never did. Our granddaughter and her husband said they were selling their house and they might need a place to live temporarily. And if we'd let them do that, they'd fix it. They'd clean it all out and fix it up. And so yesterday, almost the entire family came and hauled everything out, trailer load of just junk, rotted food, hung new ceiling fans, all sorts of things, getting ready to power wash the basement, to sanitize the inside, to repaint every room. And last night, I knew I wouldn't sleep, but I heard that voice, let it go. And for once I did. And though we had talked about sending a letter to these folks and saying, here's what you're owed, and we will go to small claims court, we're just letting it go. That's hard for me. So to hear Chip's message was just what I needed. We'll survive the income hit. Won't be easy, but we will. And we're grateful for family and the great love that they have, which demonstrates to me over and over again the great love of God. So thank you, Chip, for those words, reminding me that there are lots of things that we need to let go of at times in our lives, some seen and many unseen.
Chip's message really resonated within me this morning. As we know, Chip and I have a lot in common, but when it comes to stuff and attachment to things, I'm the complete opposite. Every week I look for things to throw away or give. And if I don't, I get frustrated, I get upset, as if I have to get rid of every piece of thing that does not have a specific use. I'm a minimalist. I am the complete opposite. And your message made me realize that while some people have to learn to let go, other needs to hold on and learn how to hold on to things and take the risk of being attached, take the risk of liking. Because when it comes to attachment, my non-attachment to things is not only to things, but people as well. As I fear of being attached because I'm scared that I won't be able to let go when it's time to let go. So thank you for your message, as I need to have a reflection on how I could take some more place, not being scared of just being there and letting people come into my life and getting attached and to hold on to them a little bit. Thank you for that.